Hello everyone and welcome back to this WWE 2K19 Alternate Universe mode. It is week 5 I think that we're on today. Continuing with our tournament, continuing to march on closer to crowning our first ever Universe mode WWE champion. There is some big matches for you in this episode today. You're going to see them come up right now. I'm looking at the main event. We've got Max Rutan, the Viking Warrior. He's going up against Brock Cruz today. Both of them sitting undefeated at the top of the charts. And we've got also Hunter King, also undefeated. He goes up against Aiden Horton today, who's looking for his first win. He does have, however, Cornerstone out by the ring with him. We've got Spike Jackson going up against Dixon Armstrong, so you gotta wonder, is this the week? Now he's got the two favourites out of the way for Dixon Armstrong to start picking up victories. We'll see there. And we start the day off with Cannon Diamond. He's going to be going up against Tyson Schmidt. Of course, Jordan picking up the win last time out. So is that going to kickstart and get the Smiths moving now? We'll have to wait and see, only time will tell. But before we get into all this, out in the ring at the moment, we do have the boss. He's got to address something, so let's go to ringside and hear what it is that he has to talk about. So first of all, I would like to welcome you all back into the arena, and those of you watching at home, back to another week of our Monday Night Raw Universe mode. The second round of our championship tournament is now complete. It is all done and dusted. We have all of the results, so I want to bring you up to date with that. But before we get into that, there was one in particular match. The outcome was an absolute joke, and that was to do with Aiden Horton, who we're going to see tonight, Cannon Diamond, who we're also going to see tonight. I just want to let Cornerstone know right now, any more shenanigans like that in the future, both of you will be pulled from this tournament, and we will just erase the points and carry on without you. Basically, we are looking for an undisputed champion for our first champion. None of those games that you guys was playing. If you think I slept on that and I missed that, you are sorely mistaken. So again, let it be heard. You pull that stunt again, either of you will both be pulled from this tournament, and gone are your chances of becoming the world champion. Now, with that done, dusted and took care of, it is now time to look at how things are shaping up in our championship tournament. So again, if we could get the guys to just throw that up onto the screen now, please. Thank you very much, and here we go, and this time we do have the points total in this as well. So as you can see, our main event tonight, we have got Max Rutan versus Brock Cruz. Both of them undefeated. It's a top of the table clash. Really looking forward to that one. I hope you guys are too. But there you are on screen. Take a look at that at your own leisure. But while you're doing that, I just want to say thank you again for being here. If you've enjoyed these matches and everything that you've seen so far, please don't be afraid to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share it as well so more people can come in, start a conversation in the comments box. Who are your favourites? What have you liked so far? What have you not liked, as long as it is constructive? And yeah, let's get this out there, see where it can go. But with all that said, all that took care of, it is now time to start tonight's action. And starting off, we have an interview with our backstage correspondent, Jacob Butler. Again, he's with Max Rutan as we build towards this main event tonight. He was asking Max earlier how he feels about tonight's match, how he thinks it's going to play out. And well, Max had some surprising words. He actually mentioned surprise as well. He says he's got something up his sleeve and in store for Brock Cruz tonight. We'll have to obviously wait and see what that was. But he did say to Jacob, he predicted himself, obviously as he would do, another victory. It wasn't a long interview, of course, he's a man of few words. He's more about the fighting, of course, known as the Viking Warrior. So yeah, that happened earlier. And now let's jump into some of the results of tonight's matches, starting with Cannon Diamond, who we heard Bailey mention earlier. He's actually picked up a win, and he's had to work for it this time against Tyson Schmidt. So although Jordan started building a little bit of momentum with his win last week, it's not been able to be carried on, at least not by Tyson anyway. Question marks on whether he was even 100% going into the match. But yeah, whether he was or he wasn't, he was not able to beat Cannon anyway. So big win there for Cannon Diamond, his second back-to-back win now. So building that momentum that we were talking about in the last episode, which, if you haven't seen yet, is up on the channel now, along with all the other Universe Mode episodes that we've done so far, just in case you are new here and fancy catching yourself up a little bit. The second match of the night, though, would see Spike Jackson go up against Dixon Armstrong, and poor Dixon, man, the guy just cannot get a win. He's performed well in his first couple of matches, just fell short at the results part, and it's been the same story again from him tonight. Spike Jackson just proving too much, and Dixon, man, he's so desperate for this Universe Mode to work out for him. Maybe he's trying too hard, I don't know, but he needs to sort something. He needs to get that first win under his belt and see if that can swing things in his favour, because at the moment it has to be said, it is just not working out for him. But congratulations to Spike, that's another win for him. And I'm hearing now that we have got some action going on backstage, so once again we're going to go back to our backstage correspondent Jacob Butler and see what's going on there. So guys, I've just heard that Brock Cruz has entered the arena. He's of course another part of our main event tonight, and I'm going to see if I can capture him before he goes in and starts doing his preparations for his big match. So I've heard that he's just outside the locker room at the moment, so we're going to try and get a word with him there. Brock, here he is, Brock Cruz. I just wondered if I could get a few words with you before getting ready to go into the main event tonight. I'm just wondering how you're feeling. Of course, you've got that momentum behind you at the moment. You've got that couple of wins. Is there going to be another win on the card for Brock Cruz tonight? Well, Jacob, you're right. I do have a couple of wins behind me, full of momentum at the moment, full of confidence. I'm feeling as good as I've ever felt right now. I did hear your interview with Max earlier, who reckons he's got some kind of surprise for me tonight. Bring all the surprises that you want, Max. Bring them all. It is still going to end up being Brock Cruz moving to 3 wins tonight, moving himself further out in front at the top of the league in this tournament, and getting one step closer to being the champion. Don't get it twisted, I know it's going to be a very difficult match tonight. Max is incredible, he's got that Viking warrior spirit. It's going to be a really tough match for me to win, but make no mistake about it, win is exactly what I'm going to do. Big words from Brock there, and guys, why that was happening, we have more exciting news going on here. I don't know who this guy is, but he has just came out of the general manager's office, so we can only assume that there is another star about to be put on the books in this Universe Mode. And wow, what a night it has been tonight. It has been hectic here in this week's episode. We've got now the first match of the evening, the first live match anyway. And it is Hunter King, one of the favourites, as we know now, in this tournament. And he's going to be going up against Aidan Horton of Cornerstone. It appears as though we got Hunter coming out first. And guys, let me just say now, I've tried to get a word with him about today's match, about how things have been going so far. But we know this guy, we know he's solitary, he likes his own company, quite private, he likes to stay in that meditative state, he's very spiritual, cold, and I failed you guys. I could not get a word with him. He just doesn't want to say anything, so we can only assume really that he's happy with the way things are going so far. He had the win in his first outing against Tyson Schmidt, of course causing the injury that has really plagued Tyson since then in this universe mode. I did manage to get a word with him about that, as I've mentioned before. He basically says, look, it weren't supposed to happen, but it did, and if I had to, I would do it again, basically. That is his mindset, which you do have to say has served him well so far. He's unbeaten, sitting joint top of the league with Stud, who's not here tonight, but you have to assume that he's somewhere keeping a close eye on tonight's episode with Hunter, with Max and with Brock all in action. So yeah, that mindset, that coldness, has, like I say, served him well so far. And yeah, we'll see if that continues against Aidan Horton here, who's now on a warning along with Cannon Diamond, as you heard earlier from the general manager about that stunt that they pulled last time out, sorry, not last week. It's the first time, I think, that we've seen them out all together, show of unity, solidarity and strength, and you've got to say it will probably be needed for Aidan tonight, this backup, if that's what you want to call it. We know Cannon won earlier tonight, so they should be feeling pretty good in Cornerstone, but for Aidan in particular, he's lost to Spike Jackson in his first outing. He's lost to Cannon, obviously we know how that went down last time out, so he could do with getting some points on the board for himself. But speaking to him, I had a chance to sit down with him, and to be honest with you guys, I suppose you can tell in his demeanour, in his attitude, the way that he's dressed for combat tonight, he's really not that fussed about being here. He doesn't care. He says actually that he's only doing it for his brothers in Cornerstone, for his family, but to be honest with you, he says, I would rather be at home. So that is his mindset. He's a no frills kind of guy, pretty moody, it has to be said, and I don't think he'll be fussed whether he wins or loses tonight either, to be honest. But I know that Cornerstone would be, because they're going to want to be keeping as much momentum going forward as possible, of course, as they would. But that's going to be a tough ask against Hunter at the moment, who you saw before the match got underway was just relaxing in the ropes. He's pretty, I don't want to say full of himself, because he's not that kind of guy, but he's brimming with confidence at the moment, and why wouldn't he be? He's got a chance tonight to put more pressure on Brock in the main event, and Max as well, because if he picks up the win here, then they need to win to stay with him, the both of them. And of course, no matter which way you slice it, both of them can't win. So he would definitely be, he'd be the first on to 9 points. He would be there on his own. Only one of those two can join him, and then it's down to Stud next week to see if he can keep up with them as well. So this is a big one for Hunter, but like I say, it also just adds that little bit more, as we got a cover here. Quick kick out there to tonight's main event. The pressure really will be on them, so it's a bit of a blessing, I suppose, really, for Hunter to be the one that goes first, because even if he doesn't win tonight, that would give either Brock or Max in the main event, and Stud next week, as we've mentioned, the chance to go clear themselves. So Yeah, it's a big episode tonight, and this is a big match, make no mistake about it. And at the moment, Hunter is finding himself in a bit of trouble in this cross arm breaker here, put on by Horton. But just the straight right hand raining down there is enough to get Hunter out of that hold, and just showing his power there with that massive scoop slam. Into the corner now goes Horton, notably into the corner that's away from Cornerstone as well, and we see the big clothesline here. He calls that the crosshair clothesline, and he's hit it, and normally what follows that is his spear, which he has named the slice because it says it slices his opponents in half, and we might just see Horton get sliced in half here. If he turns round, he's in trouble. Here comes Hunter. It's a nice counter though, keeping Horton in the match, and you can see there that Cannon, who again won earlier, was impressed with that counter, but the nice shining wizard there, standing variety as well, sees Horton put into a cover but kicks out at one himself. And rare display there from Hunter of emotion. You don't usually see that from him, but he was feeling himself after that shining wizard. And we see Horton back into the corner again. This time it's into the corner of Cornerstone, and we're going to see the crosshairs clothesline again here quickly after the first one, and that could be enough, but he's not going to go for the cover, and that gives Horton a chance to retake control of the match and recompose himself. And he's doing that here with a bit of a nasty headbutt there, followed by the kick to the stomach. What we're going to see here, a backdrop from Hunter. Whatever it was, he felt it coming and he was having none of it. And there you see, as mentioned, he was brimming with confidence, and he most certainly is at the moment. Into the corner we go again. Surely not a third. It is going to be a third, you know. Here comes that crosshair clothesline once again. Bang, there you go. And is he going to go straight for the cover this time? I feel like he probably should, but we know that he's an aggressive character. He likes all this dishing out the punishment. It's almost, in a way, it seems like it's kind of therapeutic for him. He's going for the top wrist lock here, and it's going to get countered with some right hands to the midsection there from Horton, who you've got to say at the moment he's holding in this match. He's just holding on, but I say that, and his finisher there, well, his signature suplex, he simply calls it over, because when I asked him about that, he says that's what he wants it to be. And it is going to be nap time here for Hunter King. This is a shock. If he taps out here, this has got to be one of the biggest upsets of this series so far, but Hunter does manage to get out of the hold. But yeah, Horton calls that suplex over because that's what he wants it to be, so he can go back home basically. And his Dragon Sleeper, as you just heard, is called nap time, and he could be finding himself taking a long nap here. Is he going to get sliced? He is indeed, and that surely is going to be that. We do get a cover from Hunter. It's 1, it's 2, and it is 3, and Hunter King impressively moves himself to 9 points now and goes outright clear at the top of the table, at least for the next few minutes. Of course, we still got that massive main event coming up tonight. Who is gonna join, if anybody, Hunter on 9 points? If Brock and Max, if there's not a decisive winner in that main event tonight, Hunter will be outright top of the league on his own and in prime position to get himself into those semi-final slots, and potentially on his way to becoming the first champion here in this universe mode. Good outing for him again tonight. I called it after week 1 that he would be emerging as one of the favourites, and he has showed that tonight. There was the show of strength from Cornerstone coming out all together. It made absolutely no difference to Hunter. He still got the job done, still unbeaten, still looked very, very impressive in that match, it has to be said. And he is going to take some stopping. And hold on, I'm hearing, guys, that Jacob has caught up with whoever that was that came out of the general manager's office just before this match. So let's head backstage with him now and see what we have got going on there. And yes, guys, you are right, I am back here with the guy that you saw earlier coming out of the general manager's office, and I just want to ask you what it is that you're doing here. What was going on with the general manager? Is there a new contract? Have we got a new star? All these things people want to know at the moment, and we're just wondering if you could answer some of those questions for us. Okay, look, you caught me. I was coming out of the general manager's office. We've been discussing a contract. Am I a part of this roster yet? The answer to that question is no. There's just one thing, just one little thing in the contract that I am making non-negotiable. The contract that they offer me is fine except for that one clause. Let me tell you, if I had signed the contract, I would be the biggest star on this roster. I have been keeping my eye on what's been going on here, and I am somewhat impressed. But Richard Robinson, take this universe mode to a whole nother level just by putting my name on that bit of paper. But I'm not gonna do that until that clause has been put in the contract. As far as everything else with the contract, that's fine. I will be by far and away the biggest earner, and it will continue to be that way as I have a highest paid clause in the contract as well. I'm not going to tell you what it is that I'm holding out for, but this is going straight to the powers that be. You want to put that clause in this contract, because when you do, and when I put pen to paper, like I said, this universe mode goes straight to a whole nother level. You've got all kinds of things here, but you don't have that one guy, the one that takes everything from great to completely unmissable. I'm talking the highest ratings that we have probably ever seen here, and all you have to do is just stick that one clause into the contract. I'm not going to say any more at the moment. I'm going to hang around and watch the main event, because why not? But for now, like I said, that is all that I am saying. So at the moment it appears we have both Alex Charming and Richard Robinson both almost signed to our alternate universe mode here, but not quite over the line just yet. So stay with us, subscribe so you don't miss out on whether these guys are going to sign and bolster the roster a little bit more. Whether maybe they won't, we'll just have to wait and see how it develops. But wait, who's that there with Max? Can't quite tell at the moment. We need a better camera angle, but this must be the surprise that Max was talking about earlier. Something he feels is going to give him even more of an advantage, as if he needed one. It looks to be the super agent, Stephen York. Is he now going to be handling Max's affairs outside the ring? I suppose that would make perfect sense, because Max is a warrior, living that Viking lifestyle, as we know. So yeah, it would make perfect sense if he gets someone else to deal with all the other details, so he can just concentrate on kicking ass, basically. And he feels potentially that's what's going to give him an edge over everyone else. So again, we'll have to just wait and see how that develops. But for now, coming to the ring, we have Brock Cruz, the other undefeated wrestler in this universe mode, along with Max. One of these two tonight, as we mentioned earlier, is gonna, unless there's not a definitive winner, join Hunter King, who's already put himself on the 9 points. Speaking again to Jacob earlier, Brock was none too fussed, shall we say, about Max's surprise. Of course, we know what that is now. We'll have to wait and see whether that plays any part in this match or not. But as you can see, Brock is very confident, has a lot of self-belief. He's quite a measured guy, so I don't see him getting all too fussed about Max having Stephen York at ringside. He truly believes in his heart of hearts he's the best. He's very goal orientated, and his goal at the moment is of course to win this tournament and get his hands on that title. So again, we'll have to wait and see how that develops. He's done well so far with wins against Cannon Diamond and Spike Jackson, and Spike Jackson at the moment, beating him is looking to be a very good result, because he did win again earlier tonight, putting himself on the 2 wins out of 3 matches. So yeah, that could prove to be a big win that Brock picked up there. We'll see if he can build on that with a win against Max tonight. Either way you slice it, whichever one of these, if any of them do pick up the win, it is going to be an absolutely huge one, as that undefeated field is getting ever smaller week by week. Max at the moment now has took control of this one. If he does sense any weakness at all in Brock, you know he's going to go for it. I would say at the moment, out of all the action that we've seen, and we've not seen everyone yet to be fair, I believe it's the first time we're actually seeing Brock, and he's handling himself quite well in front of the cameras at the moment. But Max has definitely proven to be the most ruthless, I would say. There was that injury for Tyson in his 2nd week, and he went straight after that. So yeah, Brock can't afford to show any weakness at all tonight, and neither can Max really. That's beautiful there from Brock. He's probably a little bit more technical than Max, I would say, but Max has got, it's that warrior mentality with him. He loves a good scrap. His first outing, as we got a cover here, we'll have to hold that thought. It's 1, and that is all it is at the moment. Yeah, week 1, Dixon Armstrong put on a really good show in front of the cameras, and he fell short. Max absolutely loved that scrap, by the way. They didn't have much of one against Tyson. Seemed a little easy for him. I don't even think he's the biggest guy in this one tonight. I think Brock's even a little bit bigger than him, but that won't fuss him at all. What are we going to see here? We're not going to see the blood kick already, surely. He's going to go for it, you know. He's hit it as well, and Brock's out already. This is a quick one. 1, 2 and 3, and it's over. Wow. That is unreal. That is a really impressive display there from Max. I mean, I was really looking forward to a really good scrap in this one, but Max is having none of that. He's took care of business really quickly, and you've got to just ask yourself that question: is Stephen York anything to do with that? Has he focused Max's mind on, you don't need to be in a big fight week in and week out, get the wins quickly, keep that potential of injury, hurting yourself, the accumulative damage that you're going to get week on week in this tournament, keep all that to a minimum, harness that aggression. Is that what Steve taught him here? Because that was a very decisive, quick win. And he now, Max joins Hunter on 9 points, and when we come back for the next episode, it is over to you, Stud Rivers. We know that you are going to be watching this with interest somewhere. It is up to you now to keep up with the 2 pace setters, it would seem. But yeah, big result for Max, that one, and that is the main event, and that is all that we have time for tonight. So I would just once again like to really thank you for spending time out of your day to watch these videos. It means more than you could possibly imagine to me. I'm having so much fun making these, and almost just escaping and living in this world while I'm making them for a little bit, and I am absolutely loving it. I hope you are too. Let me know with the comments box, with the like button as well. If you don't want to leave a comment, that would also let me know that I'm on the right track and that you're enjoying what you're seeing. Also, like I said, we're starting to really build some things going here, so if you want to see how all these things play out and develop, then hit the subscribe buttons and also the notification bell so you know every time that I upload. But until the next one, guys, where, like I said, it is over to Stud Rivers now to see if he can keep pace with Hunter King and Max Rutten, sorry, at the top of this table in this title chase that we have got going on here at the moment. Until that comes along, though, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you all again soon, and bye bye.